connection, then I resume my life. I live way out in the boonies, so sometimes the connection gets lost. So I want to welcome you all to this live. Thank you for coming to interact with me. I am the self-care evangelist. So what does that mean? Like, I'm an educator, a secondary educator, and I encourage people, educators, parents, students, you know, people in my realm to take good care of themselves, to just be well, be mindful of wellness, because you only get your one life. And once that's gone, you're on the other side of eternity. And ain't nothing gonna change over in eternity. It's too late to make any changes in eternity. So I am mindful because I think this is the mindset that I've had for many years, because I was like a sickly child, and I just became very aware of like the importance of being well. Okay, so the things that you don't have that you wish you had when I was young, I wanted wellness, and now that I'm older and I have been blessed, God has blessed me with wellness and wholeness. I just want to share that message with everybody. So thank you all. If you're here, thank you for being here. You know, if you're interested in learning about physical wellness, emotional wellness, spiritual wellness, if you're here to just hear about my journey on those topics, thank you. Hang out and invite your friends. Let's get lots of people over here to hear this message, especially educators, especially parents of teens, parents of high schoolers, adolescents. Like, that's a difficult time period for parents to have to deal with, because adolescents are coming into their own. They're learning who they are. They're developing their own voice, their own mindset and attitudes about what's important to them. Oftentimes they are challenging the norms of their family. They're challenging the expectations of their families. And so parents, I didn't do 100% on that when my daughters were teens, but I really did try to maintain a Christ-centered lifestyle so that my children could see that I was walking out what I was expecting of them, what I was preaching of them, what I was holding up to them, right? I wasn't perfect by any means, but I just really was careful to live out what it was that I expected of them. And they've turned out well. My daughters are adults. I have grandchildren now. And I'm just very grateful. I'm very grateful. And I just want to share that with you all. So thank you all. Tia Barbosa and Greg Hunter and Darren White and Emma Wade. Thank you all for being here. Tammy D. Arcos, Joanne Cook, The Best Thing, GY, Renee Miller, a.k.a. Stormy, Betty Broussard, Amy, Anthony Gordon, Susie, Patrick. Thank you all for being here. Livy, Cincy, Frederica. Who else is here? Tana Tennis, Mouse, Foxy Cat. Thank you all for being here, you all. Anybody else? Lucy Brooks, myself, Savage, Psychitha, Emma. Thank you all for being here. Invite friends here, especially if you are a parent of a teen, an adolescent. Like, adolescents are those young people who are going through physical development, right? They're going through physical, psychological maturation. They're in middle school, maybe even a little bit younger than that, 4th, 5th grade, middle school, high school, and to early 20s. That's adolescence. And this is a very challenging time period in the life of the parent and the child. It's over a decade. It's a stretch, and so the tools necessary to parent adolescents, they're different in a way. They're very specific, but they can mimic some of the things that you're doing for your elementary school student. Like, for instance, so when we have elementary school students, elementary age students or children in our homes, we tend the boonies, so I'm losing connectivity. So thank you for hanging around. If I lose connectivity, it's because I am near the mountains and we are getting a new tower put in at the nearby school. Like, I'm like, why are they putting a 5G tower at the school? Like, that's my mindset. But so yeah, if you lose me, just hang around, right? I'm talking about parents of adolescents, middle school and high school. And I was saying that oftentimes when our children reach adolescence, we begin to back off. Now, a part of that reasoning, that rationale for backing off is reasonable. Like, you understand that they want their independence, and we understand that they, are coming into their own, and we want to give them their space. Okay, yep, I agree with that. When it comes to their education, their engagement with other adults and other communities, I think it's okay to kind of keep your nose in there, like keep your presence known, keep your presence visible, so that the adults and the others who are engaging with your adolescent, they will be mindful that you are in the picture, and you're in the picture to steer your adolescent and to cooperate and team up with the other professional adults who are in their lives. That's the mindset. It's a mindset of teamwork. Okay? Teamwork makes the dream work. Parents and educators teaming up to help adolescents become expert scholars. Parents and educators being champions and advocates for adolescents. As a team. I'm going to turn on this fan because it's kind of warm today. It's not as warm here in Phoenix as it has been, but it's still warm. Like, I think we are probably in the double digits now, like 90 something. We've been in like the triple digits forever here. And so, yeah, let me see what it is. What is the temperature? Because I'm breaking a sweat. Let's see. I've got my water, though. I need to put some of these in a TikTok shop. I purchased like 6 of these. I have a yellow one, a white one. I have 2 pink ones and an orange one on the way. And why? Because they come in handy, really. That ice, and like I said, I don't have any in a TikTok shop, but I will say that don't leave them in the sink. If you have one of these, I can't speak for the Stanley, but if you have one from the TikTok shop, do not leave it in the sink filled with water, because now this one I'm not seeing the little screws, but my yellow one has visible screws under the handle, and they rusted. The screws rusted because I left it sitting in the sink filled with soapy water and a little bleach. That's how I like to wash my dishes. So that's a side note, y'all. So take it or leave it. Okay. Welcome. Let's see who else is here. Dee, Karen, Eddie, Janet. Janet lives in Kentucky but is from Phoenix. Go, Janet. Thank you for joining. I love Phoenix. I'm from St. Louis, Winsville, Missouri, by way of St. Louis, and I love Phoenix. I was driving to Phoenix the year that I moved here. I think I drove here 3 times before I moved here. The drive itself was just, to me, an adventure and fun and a challenge, a personal challenge. Like, my daughter was like, Mom, why are you driving here so often? It was during 2014, 2015, that year when, I don't know if you all remember the Michael Brown situation, the Ferguson situation in St. Louis. Ferguson is a suburb of St. Louis County. And so when that was going on, I was teaching school in St. Louis County, not so far from Ferguson. And on my way to work every day, I would see the military trucks. I would see all of that, the police. And then we were told how to deal with it. You know, we really couldn't address things verbally. And we went through specialized training. And it was so overwhelming for me emotionally that I just was like, okay, like, when the opportunity arose for me to move to Phoenix during that year, I was like, I'm taking it. So I retired and moved. I retired and I moved. And it's been a good thing. I've been very blessed here in Phoenix. I've been very blessed. This is a beautiful part of the country. My aunt said, you can have anything you want in Phoenix. My aunt she was living here at the time, and she said, you can have anything you want. Like, how she put it like this. She said, like, the vortex is open or something. Now, listen, I'm a Christian woman, so I believe in quantum physics and how there are unknowns, and I believe that you speak the word, if you speak the word, you can get what you want, right? And so that's what she was telling me, man, you can get whatever you want here. It's an open heaven. And that is how I have been blessed in Phoenix. So if you look, they're saying too many people are moving here already, that we don't have enough water, which is a reality. The Colorado River is drying up, and we get water from the Colorado River, and the riverbeds are dry. So that is a reality. But other than that, this place has been just heaven for me. I'm so grateful. The people are beautiful here. Okay, so going back to what I was talking about. So I'm an educator, a secondary educator. I teach high school English, 12th grade. And I'm talking to parents primarily of adolescents. So, like, if you have an adolescent, it's a difficult challenge. I gave my parents the blues. I gave my mother the blues. Like, I had 2 parents in the home. My dad worked his butt off. He was a working dad and was sleep. When he was home, he would sleep so that he could get up and go to work. And then my mom was the one who parented us, right? And when I was going through adolescence, like that pre-menstrual part, I gave my mother hell on legs. I was so mean and cruel and disobedient and verbally abusive to my mother. I would not dare do it to my father, but what made me think I could dare do it to my mother? Because I was an adolescent. Adolescents don't be thinking. Adolescents are driven by hormones. And so parents, you have to love and discipline your adolescents differently, just kind of differently. Like, you're still engaged. You're giving them room to breathe. So the first part is you're still engaged in their development, right? In their education, in their relationships, in the things that they're doing. You're still engaged. The second part is you're giving adolescents room to breathe, like independence, to go out with friends, to choose what they wear, to choose their hairstyles, and that kind of thing, with some guidance. And then, you're just kind of praying and trusting, like becoming educated on how to be the parent of an adolescent. So whatever your system of support is, whether that is you have access to counseling, you have access to school counselors like the social worker or the school counselor, or a private psychiatrist or something like that who can give you tips on how to navigate this point in their life, because this is like a decade of this is a decade of craziness. It's a decade of that change that they're going through. I wish I had all of these tools available to me when my daughters were going through. Like, I had some of the tools and I made good use of some of the tools, but then there were other tools that I could have used that I didn't use, that in retrospect I wish I would have used. But my daughters, they turned out okay, so I'm grateful. They're adults, they're parents, and they're navigating the world well. So, I'm very grateful for what, the people I had and the resources I had. All right, who else is here? Master Osaka, Lottery One, Monsant, Lifted Bodhisattva. I can't say that. Lifted Bodhisattva. Leslie Ann, Master, I said him. Thank you for sharing the live, Lifted Bodhisattva. Janet Jenkins, Phoenix gets snowbirds in the winter. Yep, they do. Lynn Manning, 4 joined. Thank you, Lynn. Anthony Gordon, Anthony. Thank you, Anthony. Dinky Youngstead, Deborah Evans, Lifted Bodhisattva. All facts. Rita Wood, 835 joined. Thank you. Wahi joined. Baby joined. Freya. Ashley Adams, Lifted. Okay, thank you all for being here. I really appreciate it. Kathleen Monago joined. Janet says, I spent time in St. Louis and had a ball. St. Louis is cool. St. Louis, St. Louis has like a southern culture. Like St. Louis, if you look historically in like the slave trade, so Missouri was a slave state. The southern part of Missouri was the slave state. The northern part was free. This was the Missouri Compromise. St. Louis was a slave city. Kansas City was not. Kansas City and St. Louis are rivals, right? But they love each other. I mean, I love Kansas City, But St. Louis does, and I don't mean to hurt anyone's feelings or step on anyone's toes, but St. Louis does have a slave mentality there because of the history. Now, what do I mean by that? And then I'll get back to my topic. St. Louis has sort of a slave mentality where the mindset is that blacks are secondary, or people of color, because my friends are telling me to stop saying black and to say people of color. That people of color are secondary citizens, and it's implicit. It's like it's not, maybe not intentional, but it's just the mindset. And because people are not aware that it's the mindset, it's an acceptable way of looking at things. So we are looked at as an afterthought in there, right? But I was blessed to have good teachers when I was at home in St. Louis, in St. Louis Public Schools. I went to a very good high school that opened opportunities for me, Metro High School, which is still in the number ones. Like, I graduated, y'all, what, 40 years ago or something? 79, like a zillion years ago in dog years, and my high school is still ranking like in the number ones and stuff. And it's because of the teachers and the adults. Really, the teachers, man. The teachers I had in my life, they made sure we could read. They made sure we could write. They taught us, like, in elementary and in the middle school grades, they taught us. We knew how to read. At least I could speak for myself and my siblings. We knew how to read. We knew how to write, and we knew how to communicate. And that's St. Louis Public Schools, so I'm grateful for that, coming from St. Louis. Okay, back on target. All right, you all. So I am a secondary educator. I teach 12th grade English here in Phoenix area. I'm so blessed. I teach at a wonderful school district. I teach at a beautiful school. It's the school we just celebrated our 4th year. I've been here since the beginning. I love my school. I love the campus. I love the people I work with. I love the students. It's just been amazing. And so it's an opportunity to pay it forward. Pay it forward. Like, I had teachers who cared about me, my well-being. They cared about my future. They cared about my ability to navigate the world. And so as an educator, that's how I approach it. I want to equip my students. And I tell them, y'all, I'm not being mean. I'm being real. Like, they get tired of me. We're going into week 5. For those of you who are like, well, school just started. We are going into week 5 tomorrow. Week 5. So, and progress reports were sent out Friday. Okay? So, yeah, we start school earlier here than in the Midwest. And we get out earlier than they do. And I tell my students, you all, I am not being mean. I am being real. Like, if I tell you all that you need to redo an assignment, or you need to make sure you're following instructions, or you need to come to tutoring, I am not being mean, guys. I'm being real. Because if you don't get this stuff done, you will not graduate. They will hold you back. And I want all of my students to graduate. And they do. I saw one who was still on campus this year who should have graduated a few months ago, right? So you do have some who slip through the cracks for various reasons. And this is why I'm talking to parents of adolescents today, because you have to know your adolescent's level of maturity. How well are they settled in their executive functioning skills? Because executive functioning skills are the essential skills to navigate planning your day, planning your calendar of assignments, planning your work schedule for many seniors who do work a job, planning your clubs or your sports if they don't work a job and they're in sports and they're in activities. They have to put all of these things on a calendar, on their phone, on their calendar, so that they can navigate and manage like coursework, clubs, athletics, a job off campus, right? And then they have to navigate scholarship applications, college applications, all of those things. And it is new to them, seniors, at this point in the year. These are new conversations. And many of them just don't feel like seniors yet. Many of them just aren't feeling emotionally like they are a senior. They're feeling like they are a junior. They're navigating this first quarter from the mindset of a junior, but they're seniors, which means they have how many months left for us? 8 months? They have 8 months left to graduate. So during these 8 months, they are going to make sure they are planning their activities on their phone, on their calendar on their phone, or something on their phone where they're putting it in there, the due dates, the due times, the assignment names, right? They are being mindful too, and I have 2 minutes and then my phone is going to ring because I have timers set every hour to drink water here in Phoenix, stay hydrated. Okay. Okay, someone said okay, wait. Thank you all who have joined. So many people. Dinky Yunstead, thank you. Sherry Harvey, Bernie, Mary Walls, Luis Velasquez, thank you. Sarah Beanie, Franny, Nikki, Beverly, Rayborn, thank you for joining, you all. I hope what I'm sharing with you is relevant. Like, I'm talking to parents of adolescents, and I'm just really sharing with you what you should be doing. Because, like, who tells parents of adolescents what to do? Like, here on TikTok, I do see some very helpful videos about scholarships. I do see very helpful videos about freshman year in college. Like, take 12 credits, make sure all the classes are not difficult. Like, join clubs your freshman year of college. Join 2 to 3 clubs that you can begin networking in and building your new friendship network, so that you can have study groups, so that you can get the ends on like internships, scholarships, and the news, so that you can navigate assignments, figure out which teachers are the most supportive, and so forth, right? So here on TikTok, parents, you probably have already discovered some of those communities and videos that help you to navigate that freshman year of college. Senior year of high school is the in-between. Junior year of high school and freshman year of college is the in-between. You have to make sure your student is mindful and addressing what they need to do. They're getting the assignments done on time. They are submitting applications for scholarships. They are communicating with their counselors and with their course content teachers. They're taking that step of responsibility beyond what they probably have had in the past. They're making appointments for tutoring. They are making appointments with the counselor to learn about scholarships. They are checking their grades on the student view or whatever platform you use. They are in charge. They are manning up, womaning up, and doing those things to be on top of their progress. Because if they're not doing those things, like if they're just carelessly, randomly turning in assignments, randomly submitting things way past the due date, not paying attention to the instructions in Canvas or whatever platform, if they're being haphazard, it's going to be junky. It's going to be messy. If they're mindful and they're reading things and they're asking for clarification and they're communicating and they're submitting work in the proper portals on the proper platforms, they're going to be okay. Now, parents, what do? You introduce yourself to the teacher either through an email or through a text message. I know I message via text my parents, some of the parents. You introduce yourself. You tell the teacher that what your expectations are for your student. You kind of support it with evidence, like you can say, I expect my student to make an A or a B. Last year they made an A or B in your content course, or last year they made a C or a D or whatever grade they made, but I know their ability and I expect them to earn blank, blank, blank. I expect them to work to earn blank, 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 right? So you just have those communications about what your expectations are, because it makes it clear, it makes it clear in the teamwork. This is what I expect of my child. They should not be in the room on their phones watching Netflix the entire 55 minutes of class. That is not what I expect of them. They should be working, not watching TikTok videos the entire 55 minutes of class. I don't expect that. There are students who do that, parents. There are students who are watching YouTube videos, TikTok videos, Netflix shows, and they are not hearing instruction. And you can talk to educators across the country, and they will tell you that. Okay. Last thing I want to say, some of my parents are educators. They are parents of high school seniors, and they are educators as well, English educators. So I have a new book out. It is a journal, Empowering English Educators. It's a 30-day journey to wholeness, if you will, to move you from like apathy to advocacy and activism regarding your line of work as an English educator. Listen, I poured into this, okay? I poured into this. It has 30 days. Each day has a poem, a prompt, and an action. And then at the very end, you have line pages for like reflection or notes, or you may be planning for your next 30 days or whatever. You can get this for $6.99 on Amazon. It is available. It starts with the bio about me, all about me, Lynn Daniel. It has a welcoming page. And this is designed for English educators, Yeah. Now, if you're a parent, I am putting together, now it's hardly even together, but I'm putting notes together to make a parenting journal, a similar journal for parents of adolescents. And it just takes time. Like, I have years of notes, years of data, years of information, but then I have to pull those things together and then like encapsulate it in a journal that makes sense, that is helpful to parents of adolescents. And so if this sounds like something you would be interested in, just message me here, comment here and say that the parenting journal does sound like a tool that you would buy for $6.99. I encourage people, professionals, parents, students, to form communities of practice where you all can come together and discuss similar goals around the topic of whatever is important to you. So parents can form a community of service where you all are meeting online or physically in a safe space to discuss like the things that are important for parents of adolescents. like how to check that your adolescence is doing their work correctly, how to engage with the teacher, introduce yourself with the teacher, how to partner up with the teacher to support the student, and that type of thing. Like, communities of practice are so relevant, where and communities of practice are not just groups that come together. Like, you come together with a common mission. You come together with, you have expectations surrounding a topic that you want to perfect. You want to perfect the skills, you want to perfect the outcomes, you want to learn and grow and help each other to become experts, or, stronger in that field. And so, those of you who are English educators and you get this book on Amazon, consider getting a couple of books. Maybe you can form a community of practice with like 5 teachers that in your community that work with you, that you care about, and you all can use this book. It's a journal, actually, y'all. Every day has a prompt, and every day has a poem, a prompt, and an action. And then you all can do these together, like work on them independently, and then come together as a community of practice and discuss the topic of the day or of the week, however you all want to do it. Or you can summarize the week, the day, or whatever, the topics, the poems, the actions, the prompts. The whole purpose is to move people, educators in this book, from apathy or feeling helpless to activism, where you are aware that there are actions you can take to bring about change, to advocacy, where you are then encouraging others to join in with the change. And so when I finally get the journal for the parents together, is going to be under the same premise, to get parents from apathy, like feeling helpless, like you've got this adolescent, this almost grown person in your house who is doing a lot of things independently, but they still need psychological guidance. They are immature psychologically. They are mature physically, right? Their bodies, they are adults physically, but psychologically, emotionally, they are still learning and growing. And so the book that I'm putting together for parents will address those components of the adolescence, and that journey of the adolescence, and that journey of the parent of the adolescent. So then you all can come together, form a community of practice around this, and help each other navigate like your relationships with your schools. You all can form PTAs or PTOs, parent-teacher organizations, or parents' watch groups, or whatever you feel your school needs. And then you all can do these things virtually, right? Make it very convenient for your community. You all can discuss what is your concern, the things that concern you, the goals that you have identified for your school or your student in school. And really the whole point is to partner up as a community of power and awareness. Partner up with the school. Okay? Partner up with the school leadership, with the counselors, partner up with the social workers and the school psychologists, the school interventionists, partner up with the teachers, the school teachers, and just make them aware of your group, your body as a group, and then the way that you engage with them in a caring, loving, supportive, but very clear about what you expect for your student, very clear. All right, so thank you all. I've got more people who joined. Thank you all. Beverly, Mocha Mom, Amanda, Tornay, Jazzy. Oh, Jazzy, I'm not petty, sweetheart. Honey, go on somewhere with that. Leo, Arturo, Blaze, Rosie, Toya, Nicole, Burton, Arturo, Lady Scorpio, Aaron, Amanda, Rachel. Thank you all for joining. I love food. Thank you all for joining. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I do, you all. I'm an educator, a secondary educator here in the Phoenix area. I really enjoy teaching high school. I enjoy teaching adolescents. I've been teaching adolescents for about 40 years, with including my training and my employment. My training, my student teaching, and my employment. I've been teaching, engaged with adolescent education for over 40 years. God has been good to me in this arena. I'm very grateful. I met some of the best people, some of the advocates, strongest advocates for adolescent literacy, especially for adolescent development. That's what my doctorate is in. My doctorate is in literacy, language literacy, reading, language, literacy, and leadership. 4 components of literacy: language, reading, language, literacy, and leadership. That is my PhD. And my study was on teachers' attitudes about teaching adolescent refugee students. I have a lot of experience with working with students who speak multiple languages, students who are learning the English language, students who are English language speaker as their primary language, but they are struggling with learning how to read. These are the areas of my specialty, of my expertise. And so, yeah. All right. Thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate your time on this holiday. Well, this American holiday, if you will. It's not a holy day, but it's an American holiday of Labor Day. So thank you, all those of you who are from the U.S. Thank you. And go spend time with your families now. I'm doing laundry, cleaning. Yesterday I did a road trip. The day before that I spent time with my daughter and granddaughter at the Kids Bop concert here in Phoenix. And so, yeah, go spend time with your family. I'm getting ready to go get ready for tomorrow, school. All right, y'all. Thank you. You're wonderful. I love you and I thank you. Be blessed. Bye, everybody.